Today is part two of my interview with one of the co-founders of Forwheel. It's an app to help food trucks do their social media posts right now, and eventually it will connect your guest to your food truck. So what we're talking about today is, there's always got to be a guinea pig. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Want to know the secret to boosting sales and growing a crowd of loyal customers? It's marketing. Learn how to create a powerful marketing plan with the Food Truck Marketing Guide from Table Needs. Get your copy today. The link is in the description below. The next question, and we talked about this just briefly before we started recording, and it was the templates, because I've seen other apps that do similar things. You can post that you're open, and if you follow multiple trucks, it's the exact same template, basically. No one bothers to change it. So tell me about your template system.
Again, iterative process there. When we originally started, we had a very basic template that was actually our Forwheel branding, because it was like, hey, let's maximize the time savings, right? And so if you don't even have to think about your template at all, let alone set it up, that's as lean as you can get in terms of sharing your location. We pull your current location and we fire it off. Very quickly, we got 2 pieces of feedback. One is many of our users wanted to pick a different location because obviously they may have not been physically on the truck. A lot of our users like to share the night before. They post their stories the night before so that when their followers wake up the next morning, they see it, it's ready to go, and they have that sort of, advanced notice. And so that allowed, that pushed us to introduce custom locations that you could set. But also in that feedback loop, what we got was exactly what you just mentioned of, how do I differentiate from another food truck? How do I stand out? And so we introduced sort of 4 categories that you can adjust on the template itself when it comes to, the story look and feel on Facebook and Instagram. And that is you can customize the color, pick, your brand color theme, and it places a overlay on the whole template itself. It's really like nice and subtle with your branding. We allow you to upload a custom background image that you want to have to be the full picture of the story. We obviously then have our little map logo picture in the middle to showcase and help your followers know where your truck's at. You can also customize the message. So instead of, I think originally we just had like, we're parked and serving, and you couldn't change it. So we opened that up as well. So we've seen some people put in their phone numbers to text ahead to order. Some people just, will say something fun or witty about the current location that they're in. Or some people have their standard, hey, we're open, come find us here message. So you can customize that. You could also remove the message entirely if you want to take advantage of, the robust set of features that they have inside Instagram or Facebook. We're not trying to compete with that level of customization. We're trying to streamline the process and ultimately get food trucks onto our app so that we can take it to the next level. And then finally, you can also add your truck logo, and that sits in nicely right next to the map image. And so at the end of the day, you're talking about, a completely different background image, different color, different text, and your own logo. Obviously, when you get into Instagram or Facebook, you can also apply any other customizations you want to on top of that. Some of the results we've seen from the customization so far have been pretty impressive, and it's always, fun to see how someone will customize it and do. And there's a food truck down in Florida, actually, which, us being based out of New York, a lot of our brand recognition is local here to New York, and that's where our presence is and where our focus is. But ultimately, we do want to get nationwide. That's the goal. And so we have a great food truck in Florida. It was the first sort of red color theming that I've seen from like our pool of users, and it really stood out and quite impressive. And we immediately, featured it on our social medias. And that's the other thing too. When you share this, we're aware of, that you posted the share or that you did it via Twitter, tags us back, and then we help amplify your message to anyone who follows us as well. If you go on to Instagram, Facebook, or X, Forwheel_app. I think on Facebook, we're actually at Drive Food Forward. That's our slogan, Drive Food Forward. If you look at our profile on any of our social medias, we're always reposting people who use our app to share. and you can get a good sense of the level of customizations that are provided there.
Oh, that's good to know because then you can kind of scroll through before you make that commitment to even join. You can see the
Yeah,
changes and the differences. And that's important. Each food truck is unique in their menu, so they should look unique on social media. Are they able to
exactly.
schedule? Like if I was to do a post right now, could I schedule it for next Thursday?
Currently, no. We have seen that come up. We're sort of weighing that right against some of the other priorities in terms of, like I said, we looked at this as a first step and deliver value. Ultimately, our goal is to really maximize on event bookings, a whole
Mhm.
new eater base, and mobile ordering, right? And the membership deals. And so we don't want to get too stuck iterating here.
Right.
Ultimately, the way I foresee our app sort of pivoting is a lot of the social media integration that we have built out today will always be there as a, ancillary feature in the future. It won't be sort of the main event, if you will, but also we're going to reuse our templates and our styling of what we did to allow you to post other things, right? When we have user ratings and reviews, you can share that directly from our app. If you come up with a new menu, you could share that directly through our app. We really want to make it cohesive and nice and tightly integrated with your social media, but it's not the end solution that we're trying to deliver. We are considering, all the feedback we get, and that was definitely one of the ones that we've seen a pattern for.
You've talked about events several times. When you're saying event, are you meaning catering or are you meaning like a fair and a festival?
Specifically catering, where we know someone is looking for a specific food truck of
Mhm.
either a cuisine or for an event at a particular date. We've actually been doing this, just sort of manually through our social media as well. There's a great food truck on Long Island, New York called Taste of Puebla, and set up a couple of events for him. His name's John. He's a great guy and cooks fantastic food. We've sort of realized that just being sort of building our brand in the food truck space, we kind of naturally get those requests through our social media. And then we're like, hey, this truck would be a great match. And we set them up and then set up their, whether it's a private event or we did do a, we booked John for a soccer academy tournament on Long Island that was like, I think it ran for 6 weekends. And so he was there for all 6 weekends. So we set him up with that, which was fantastic. We really just wanted to streamline that, pull that into our app. We can a lot quicker field requests and then be able to send them out to all the food trucks that we have on our app and that have set up their profile so that they're ready to receive those requests.
It's sounding like you've got the good foundation for something that food truck owners really want to check out, should be a part of. You had mentioned being able to do discounts and that type of thing. Besides some of the things that you mentioned, what other companies or businesses would want to be involved with this? Because you're able to expose them to a whole selection of food trucks they may not even be aware exist.
Yeah, that's a great point. And potentially a longer term monetization model that we're considering is allowing companies who have products that are specifically catered to sell to food trucks, right? Whether that be an appliance for your truck or a generator or even a truck itself, right? We do want to bring those in. We want to make sure that we strike the right balance of which companies we're partnering with and we're an advocate for, because we also want to make sure that, hey, it's not just cool, you could work with this company and you get a discount, but they offer like a really bad service, right? And like we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and we're getting our information from actual food truck owners. I use this company for insurance and they're fantastic. And it's like, that's a great point. And like, we can continue to build from there and make sure that we get in partnerships that we know personally we can advocate and that already are working in the food truck industry. And now it's a matter of just getting the word out, expanding the reach. And also we can save you some money. I think on the flip side to what you're mentioning, there is a natural marketplace for companies who, like I said, sell things to food trucks. And if they want to, potentially put ads on our platform, that is something that we're not opposed to. We want to make sure that we figure out how exactly we want to do that in the right balance, because we also don't want the app to just be ads or in your way or a nuisance to food truck owners in any kind of way. So, but also, it could be good because I think there's discovery process on both sides of that, right? Like there's a business that's supplying things and they don't know that there's this whole condensed market that they can reach. And then likewise, there's potentially food truck operators who are like, I'm really in need of this thing, but it's kind of expensive. And all of a sudden, maybe there's something that pops up and it's like, oh, hey, like, this is actually a good deal. This is great. I think, with a lot of the things that we're working on, because as you can imagine, when we talk to people, especially food truck operators, they're very excited and they always have something that we're contemplating in the future that we're striving very hard to get to. All these things are on the horizon and really we're just trying to get there as fast as we possibly can. And the more interactions and the more adoption that we can drive within that food truck community and have people using our app, the faster we can get there. And I think that's ultimately the goal. That's why I'm here today is, it's a partnership, right? We want to help and serve food trucks as much as we can, but we also need them to be willing to take that step and almost, be that early adopter to help us push the needle forward, right? Yeah. And that's hopefully the goal.
They got to be the guinea pig at some point.
Yeah, there's always a guinea pig.
Always a guinea pig. Tomorrow, Brenden and I will conclude our conversation with some of the problems that food trucks have. It can be solved through tech. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.